Good morning. Welcome to CSB Academy Current Affairs Bulletin. Let us start this. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe resigns due to worsening health condition. Shinzo Abe, one of the longest serving prime ministers, he was battling with a chronic disease, ulcerative colitis, for many years, and he did not name any successor. Shinzo Abe wants to avoid causing problems for the Japanese government due to his poor health. In fact, Shinzo Abe wants to have a very strong Japanese economy, and there was one term framed after him, Abenomics. There was one term framed after him, Abenomics. Abenomics. After that, one more term that's called Modinomics was also coined in India. After seeing Abenomics, Shinzo Abe also proposed great India-Japanese relations, saying that freedom of arc and prosperity, freedom of arc and prosperity in the Asian region. And Abe also laid strong foundations for India-Japan relations. This is about Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe resigned due to his worsening health condition. Next important news, I have taken this news from India Today. Next important news, and I have taken this from India Today. Post of Central Information Commissioner. The post of Central Information Commissioner falls vacant for the fifth term in the last 6 years. In the last 6 years, the post of Central Information Commissioner falls vacant for the fifth time. Four posts of information commissioners are also vacant in the Central Information Commission. And for your information, currently 35,000 appeals and complaints. 35,000 appeals and complaints are pending in the commission, which have led to delays. 35,000 appeals and complaints are pending in the Central Information Commission. So this delay in appointments might adversely affect the functioning of Information Commission. This year for prelims, mains, essay writing, right to information is very important for various reasons. The first reason being, last year, Right to Information Act was amended. Last year, Right to Information Act was amended. You see the amendments. Earlier, Right to Information Act, the information commissioners have the same salaries and allowances, security of tenure similar security of tenure, allowances similar to election commission. Now all these things were changed. And the second important thing is the post of Chief Justice of India, Office of Chief Justice of India also comes under RTI. Last year Supreme Court judgment said Chief Justice of India position, the position of CJ also comes under RTA. And there are various issues. Even Chief Justice S.A. Bobde spoke about various things about misuse of information, Right to Information Act, all these things. For all these reasons, this year you can expect a question in prelims or mains about Information Commission. And delay in appointments. Delay in appointments is also very, very important, need to understand. Next important news, aircraft carrier INS Virat. Aircraft carrier INS Virat, longest serving warship, was dismantled. It's going to be dismantled. India's aircraft carrier INS Virat. It served around 30 years in India, and it's going to be dismantled in Gujarat Alang port. It was in service for 30 years before decommissioned in March 2017. INS Virat got decommissioned in March 2017. Before that, it served for 30 years. INS Virat is a second aircraft carrier to be broken in India. In 2014, we have dismantled INS Vikrant in Mumbai. INS Vikrant in Mumbai. See, naming of the ships is very, very important. How do they name? 2 years back, 3 years back, in 2017, April 19th, I remember, I went to interview. On that day, there's a newspaper article in Times of India about naming of the ships. So they asked me a question on naming of the ships, how the ships are named. INS Sindhurakshak, INS Sindhu Ghosh, INS Vikramaditya, INS Vikrant Virat. Based on the variety of the ship, based on the purpose it serves, based on its size and functioning, ships are named after mountains, after great warriors like INS Ashoka, like that, or great mountains, warriors, all these things. Kindly read in the internet how the ships are being named. What is the criteria? Ships are not named like just like that. There will be a committee for the naming of the ships. Next important news. You all know the famous ease of doing business index given by World Bank every year. And 2 years back in films also, there's a question: who will give ease of doing business index? World Bank. But the World Bank have said that it is pausing. What is pausing? Temporarily stopping. The World Bank have said that it is pausing the publication of doing business report, ease of doing business report, that ranks the countries on the basis of their business competitiveness. Because there was a complaint that in 2018 and 2020 surveys there are some irregularities in World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index. There's a complaint that in 2018 and 2020, there are some irregularities. World Bank is going to investigate and probe on the irregularities, stating that integrity and impartiality of its data and analysis is very important and paramount to maintain the authenticity of the data. The World Bank announced a lot of measures and review procedures. For your information, in the recent ranking, last year ranking, World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index, India's rank is 63. India's rank was improved. India's rank was improved. India's rank is 63. Kindly see the criteria based on which, the parameters based on which ease of doing business index will be given. The parameters. In some parameters, India topped. In some parameters, India have not got much improvement. For example, in enforcing the contracts, India is very weak. In enforcement of contracts, India is very weak. Okay, that is important. Next important news: Defense Minister, our defense minister Rajnath Singh to visit Russia next week for Shanghai Cooperation Organization meet of defense ministers. India's defense minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, to visit Russia next week for Shanghai Cooperation Organization meet of defense ministers. See, there is an organization called SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The members of SCO are China, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, India, and Pakistan. And one more thing you need to remember about SCO is there is one sub organization of SCO called RATS, Regional Anti Terrorism Structure. RATS, RATS, Regional Anti Terrorism Structure. Even that is important. Remember, our Defense Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, is going to visit Russia for SCO Defense Ministers meet next week. So, here you need to read about SCO, its membership, and also RATS, Regional Anti Terrorism Structure. So, next important news today. China's China warns US aircraft carriers to stay away on South China Sea. You all know China is trying to show its prowess in the South China Sea. China is trying to say that South China Sea belongs to China. Chinese latest missile launches near South China Sea served as a warning to US, particularly US aircraft carriers and US regional bases. China's missiles, they were launched into South China Sea, included DK, DF-21D and DF-26B. DF-21D and DF-26B. And United States had a recent exercises in the South China Sea by using its ships USS Nimitz and USS Ronald Reagan. So America wanted to assert that South China Sea do not belong to China alone, and China should have its own limitations in the South China Sea. But China wanted to show its strength in South China Sea. China recently launched missiles DF-21D and DF-26B to counter America, and China wanted to warn American aircrafts and American regional bases to stay away in the South China Sea. So this is a thing that is going on. This is a thing that is going on. Next important news. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, PM Jan Dhan Yojana. PM Jan Dhan Yojana had over 40.35 beneficiaries, crore beneficiaries. 40 crore beneficiaries, PM Jandan Yojana. PM Jandan Yojana completed 6 years. Completed 6 years. Pradhan Mantri Jandan Yojana, the national mission for financial inclusion. So everyone should be included in the banking system. Everyone should have a bank account. PM Jandan Yojana, the national mission for financial inclusion, completed its 6 years term. Completed its 6 years term of implementation. And finance minister said, it's a driving force for inclusive growth. Driving force for inclusive growth. These are the sentences which you need to remember to write mains answers. PM Jandan Yojana is a driving force for inclusive growth. In the same way, people-centric academic initiatives. PM Jandan Yojana laid foundation for people-centric academic initiatives. What do you mean by people-centric academic initiatives? They are like direct cash transfers, direct benefit transfers, COVID-19 financial assistance, PM Kisan, wages in under MG Narega, insurance covers, all these things comes under people-centric academic initiatives. So remember, PM Janadan Yojana completed 6 years term, 40 crore accounts were opened under PM Janadan Yojana. Next important news. India can be a reliable weapon supplier to friendly countries, said by Prime Minister Modi. See, you all know, till recently, we are we are focusing on more and more imports of defense equipment. So we always purchase most of the defense equipment from Russia, Israel, France, America, etc. But now we have started from last 5 years a concept called Make in India in defense sector also. Make in India in defense sector also. In the recent Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives also, we started we started more and more defense equipment preparation in India itself. And recently, we wanted to have we wanted to have certain import embargoes on 101 items of defense equipment. So we don't want to import certain items, we wanted to make in India only. Certain defense equipment we are going to have negative list. We are not going to purchase from any place. We are going to make in India only. We wanted to encourage private sector also in defense equipment in India. So Prime Minister Modi said, very soon India is going to become weapon supplier to its friends and neighborhood countries. Very soon India is going to manufacture weapons and India is going to sell weapons to many countries. That is very important. And here, India's position is going to be a net security provider in the region. India's position is going to be net security provider in the region. And India's capability in the defense equipment will increase. Make in India in defense will also increase lakhs of jobs in India. Make in India in defense will also increase lakhs of jobs in India. And Prime Minister Modi also said that the recent government have given a very good path to defense equipment, saying that 74% of FDI is allowed in defense. 74% of FDI is allowed in defense. But unfortunately, even today, our neighboring countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka purchase most of its military equipment from China. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, these countries purchase a lot of military equipment from China. So India can be a replacer for all these things. India have to work hard for this, for making India in defense. As you all know, in space progress, our ISRO got laurels. ISRO got a lot of support. It's lot of strength also. Now in defense also we are trying to show our strength, particularly as an exporter, not only importer. Till now, India is one of the largest importers of defense equipment. Now, India is going to start its export idea of defense equipment. Next important news, a very important news, I can tell you, star mark news for today. Yesterday, it appeared in almost all the newspapers. Supreme Court judgment on subclassification of SCs and STs. Supreme Court judgment on subclassification of SCs and STs. Uh, on Thursday, the Supreme Court Constitutional Bench, on Thursday, the Supreme Court Constitutional Bench have stated that state governments in India have the power to subclassify SCs and STs. This subclassification of SCs and STs is not unconstitutional. What do you mean by subclassification of SCs and STs? You all know that in SCs there are various castes. In STs there are various castes. In SC, scheduled caste, there are variety of castes. In STs, there are variety of castes. For example, in STs, Lambadas, Erukulas, like that. So some of the castes in SC and ST have gone up. Some of the castes are still lurking, are still languishing. So, some of the castes in SC community, some of the castes in ST community are cornering all the benefits. For that reason, a five-judge constitutional bench of the Supreme Court said that there can be a subclassification within SCs and subclassification within STs for granting them reservations. For granting them reservations. And the state government have the power to make reservations. They can also have the power to make subclassification. As state governments have the power to make reservations, they also have the power to make subclassifications. In a federal structure, that is India, the state government cannot be denied of the power to make laws to give preferential treatment for some castes. State government can give preferential treatment for certain castes. Actually, this subclassification was denied earlier in E.V. Chinnaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh 2005. In a case called E.V. Chinnaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh 2005, the Supreme Court said there cannot be a subclassification. But now Supreme Court reviewed its own judgment. Supreme Court overruled its own judgment, and Supreme Court said now there can be a subclassification of SCs and STs, and this might raise a new debate in India. This might erupt a new debate in India, and new decisions might come in future. That is introducing creamy layer concept in SCs and STs also. To as on today, we have creamy layer concept in only in ABCs, OBCs. OBCs law, if some people are rich, more than 8 lakh annual income, they cannot get OBC reservations. In the same way, if their parents are IAS, IPS, OBCs will not get a reservation under OBC category. Whereas SC, ST, there is no economic criteria, or even if the parents are IAS, they don't have any botheration. Even the parent is a chief minister, there's no botheration. They can still avail SC category reservation. But from now on, in future, subclassification will be done. In SC categories also subclassification. In future, this might raise a further debate of introducing a creamy layer concept. This would likely to raise a debate of introducing creamy layer concept in SCs and STs also. So these are the important news yesterday and today morning, and we'll meet with other important news on Monday evening at 9 p.m. Thank you.